Hello there, my name's Mr Connolly. I'm the head of mathematics here at Sandwich Technology School, and I'll be just spending a few minutes to go over the support that the maths department here at Sandwich Tech have in place for your child over the coming months in the run up to the public exams in May and June. Okay, so just to run through the assessment structure first, maths is a 100% examined by subject. There are three papers, no matter what tier you're doing, whether you're doing foundation tier or higher tier, and each paper is 1 hour and 30 minutes long. You may have extra time, but if you're a student who has extra time, you will know that already. Unfortunately with maths, you don't know the specific topics on specific papers. Okay, so all three papers cover all the topics listed, and each year we as maths teachers, we do not know which topics are going to appear on which paper. After the first paper, we know which topics are being examined and what's likely to appear on the next paper. And of course there are some skills that are non-calculator skills that we will run through the students and get them ready for the first paper. The first paper is a non-calculator paper, and papers 2 and 3 are a calculator paper. More on calculators later. So the topics that we study in mathematics are number, algebra, ratio, proportion and rates of change, geometry and measures, probability and statistics. And as I said, they will be covered in all three papers. In regards to the tier, I mentioned that earlier. If your child is in set 1 in 11W1 or 11E1, they will definitely be doing the higher paper. If your child is in sets 3 to 5, they will definitely be doing the foundation paper. And if your child is in set 2, they'll be covering what's called a crossover curriculum, which covers the both higher and foundation, and that the tier will be determined. You know, that we like to aspire to as many students as possible doing the higher paper, but of course if closer to the time after Christmas we judge the student to be more suited to foundation and be more successful doing foundation, we will change the tier to foundation tier. So it's very much on a student by student basis that we select the tier. Okay, we select the tier that is best for them, and there's many different reasons why doing foundation tier or higher tier it could be advantageous to a student. Okay, and it just depends on the student. So over the coming weeks, we will be offering tuition and support, and in the run-up to the indicative exams at the beginning of December. We haven't determined a timetable for those yet, but as soon as those are, the structure is in place, the timetable is in place, we will be letting you know when those are. So there'll be a range of lunchtime sessions and after school sessions, so that if a student needs to go home quickly after school, there's always be support for them at a lunchtime as well. Okay, so that support will be confirmed in the coming weeks. So we often get asked what parents can do to support their students in the run-up to their children in the run-up to exams. So making sure they have the right equipment, and I'll run through some of that in a bit. Making sure that they have a calculator, encouraging them to do any homework from school. I know that homework maths is often not a favourite subject of parents, but if you could just encourage them to do that, that would be fantastic, just to complete it as best they can, and then to purchase any revision guides or workbooks to support them. Okay. So on the subject of revision guides, there are revision guides which are for the board that we study, which is Edexcel, and they can be purchased from Parent Pay and collected from the office. The guides and workbooks complement each other and should ideally be used alongside each other, and you should ask the teacher whether doing higher or foundation is most appropriate. So if you're in step 1, you know that higher tier would be most appropriate. Sets 3 to 5, foundation tier is most appropriate, but if you're in that set 2 and you're not sure what you need to go for, it's best to ask your teacher what you need to go for. So maths equipment that all students need to have. So for the exam, students should have their own maths equipment, pencil, ruler, protractor, compasses, and they should bring this to every maths lesson and to their exams. Okay, it's all very well. We can provide equipment for exams, but if a student hasn't used that in a lesson and doesn't know how to use them in an effective way, they're going to be at a disadvantage in the exam. And that's same for a calculator. We can give a student a calculator in an exam to use. However, if it's not one they've been used to using, they won't know how to use all the functions that are advantageous to them in an exam situation. So it's really, really important that students have a calculator that they are familiar with, that they've used in their maths lessons, and that they can use in exams, so they know all the sort of tips and tricks to use in an exam situation. Okay, I cannot stress that enough. Students should have their own calculators. Okay, so online stuff, there's a vast array of material online that students can use at home. We often use this in maths class as well. So Corbett Maths gives videos. It gives like mini topic lessons with videos to accompany on how to do the whole range of topics. So if they're studying a topic in class and they're finding it's difficult, it's very easy to find what that topic is on Corbett Maths, and to have a little look over and a re-look over the video, just to have another perspective on how to do things. Maths Genie is another excellent resource, and that is exam practice, but it's sorted by grade and topic. There's a little screenshot on the side here where you can see the grade 5, and it's got all the topics that a student needs to be able to master in order to achieve a grade 5 in the GCSE. Okay, and then also Just Maths, which we use a lot in the maths department, has specimen questions by topic as well. So those 3 sites I can recommend to use at home. Okay, so that's just a little taste of everything that the maths department has available to students when they're working from home. And if they want any guidance on how to use those websites, their maths teachers will be more than happy to help them. If you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to contact me, the head of maths, Mr Tom Connolly, and also you can contact me via email, okay, via the school website. Thank you very much.